What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. We are a couple of days away from Elimination Chamber in Perth, and this is going to be super early in the morning. It's going to be at 4 o'clock a.m. in my time, okay? And I don't know about you guys, unless I'm doing yard work or unless I'm working on the car, I would love to sleep in on a Saturday, but this is the time that I get up throughout the week anyway for work. So what's one more day to sacrifice for something that I absolutely love, and that is professional wrestling. But if you're going to be up that early watching Elimination Chamber, I would love to cordially invite you guys to join me and the Flex Zone podcast. We're going to be live streaming this event on Saturday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it on my channel and their channel so you can get an update as soon as we are going live. Go ahead, wake up in the morning, wash your face, get you a nice bowl of cereal, a toaster strudel, a Pop-Tart, whatever you eat for breakfast, and join us for a lot of fun. So let's get into the reason why you clicked this video. So I have a list of the matches here, or some of the matches here, and I don't know if they're in the right order, but we're just going to go and just take it by what it is. So the first match they have listed here is the undisputed tag team championship match between Judgment Day, consisting of Damian Priest and Finn Balor, versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who are the new Catch Republic, which I love that because it references back to the catch style of wrestling. And it reminds me of this tag team that I was a huge fan of in Insane Championship Wrestling. They were called the New Kings, or the Kings of Catch, guys. So, but that's a little thing for me. But when I saw that this match was announced, two things came to my mind. Number one, the result of this match is pretty obvious, okay? And number two, this looks like a tag team obligation match. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but we know what the clause is. When you have a title, you have to defend your championship every 30 days, unless your name is Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or anybody that Paul Heyman advocates for. Anybody else, you have to defend it every 30 days, which makes sense because we are about that time where they need to defend it. Because the last time the Judgment Day defended those tag titles were on Monday Night Raw against DIY on January 29th, I believe. So yeah, we are right about that time. So despite of all the other things that I've said so far, I think we are going to be seeing a really fun match. I think this is going to be a fantastic match. You can't make me believe a match with Damian Priest and Finn Balor and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate is not going to be a great match. That's what I'm going to be looking for. And the other thing I'm going to be expecting is the involvement by R-Truth. Now, what I believe he's going to do is going to try to help the Judgment Day, almost cost them the titles, but somehow the Judgment Day will retain those titles. But that will add more gasoline to the fire of the Judgment Day, not liking R-Truth. And hopefully down the line at WrestleMania, it will lead into maybe a triple threat or a fatal four-way tag team match with the Awesome Truth, which is R-Truth and The Miz, versus Judgment Day and whoever the third person is, or the other two teams are if they have a fatal four-way. And it will be great to see R-Truth win that title, especially for fans of The Miz. It'll be amazing to reward this man because despite of what you think about WWE the past 5-10 years, one thing has been consistent and one thing has been true is that R-Truth has been the best thing that you've seen on your TV screen when it comes to entertainment. So we got to reward this man. This will be a great moment for the both of them. Everybody will be happy. But again, the result is going to be the Judgment Day retaining, and I don't think it's the time for them to lose the title, nor is it the time for the Catch Republic to win the title off of them as well. Great opponents, but it's just not their time. So the next thing they have on here is the Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins interview on the Grayson Waller effect, which makes sense because this is Grayson Waller's hometown. Why not give him the floor? And it looks like this replaced a match, or it just fills up a spot of a match. So I'm assuming that this segment is going to be fairly lengthy. So here's the thing that's very interesting to me that's kind of weird. Although I love Seth Rollins, he's one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE right now. It's weird to see a champion begging, right? Begging for an opportunity to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. He got rejected by him. Now he's trying to wedge himself into the whole situation between Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline, which doesn't really necessarily involve him. It just so happened that he was at the kickoff show. That's how he got involved, which I salute to him for standing up for Cody Rhodes. But he really didn't have a reason to be there, and him being involved in this whole thing is getting him cooked left and right and up and down. So I hope that they find a way to make this all make sense, where he comes out on the better side of it, or in a story way where they can make it all kind of erase what's been happening to him so far. And at the end of the day, I think this is just going to be something where they talk about the fact that they're joining forces to face The Rock and Roman Reigns, Thanos Reigns, okay? And Cody Rhodes, who I call the Super Saiyan Pastor, will be finally accepting Seth Rollins to be his Shield. And I feel like Seth Rollins could do all this stuff without being champion, but he is the champion, so it is what it is. I'll let that go. But at the end of the day, I believe that we're gonna get some involvement from The Rock and Roman Reigns, whether they're there physically or they're on the screen. They're gonna be saying or doing something. They gotta give the people in Australia with 70,000 plus people in the place. You gotta give them something, right? You gotta give them something with The Rock and Roman Reigns. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Bloodline comes in and tries to attack Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins while they're doing their interview. And maybe Grayson Waller will be involved. Who knows? He's a heel. He's at home. He wants to get some type of reaction from the crowd. And if that does happen, I wouldn't be surprised if Jey Uso comes out to try to help them, especially to try to get a little bit of revenge on his brother, since his brother cost him that IC championship match on Monday Night Raw against Gunther. So I think that's what's going to happen. All in all, if none of this happened, one thing is for sure, they're just going to establish that tag team main event match at WrestleMania, if that in fact is going to be the thing that happens. So I think that's what that's going to be. So moving on to the next thing they have listed here, it is one of the matches that I'm excited to see, and one of the least predictable matches in my personal opinion, and that is the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which will involve Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. Which some people may feel like that Raquel Rodriguez addition makes no sense, but I think it does make sense, and I have a storyline that kind of could work for that. But I'm not going to bring that up here now. I love the fact that she's here, and I love the fact that Naomi is getting these opportunities. She got a ton of time in that Royal Rumble match. And for her to be in an Elimination Chamber match, it looks like they're taking her up into the right direction, which I think is a great idea. But with this assortment of women in different styles of wrestling, I'm expecting to get some great spots out of it. Like, for instance, think of Tiffany Stratton trying to do a moonsault and Bianca Belair catching her and hitting her with the KOD. Or let's say Tiffany Stratton trying to do that moonsault, Bianca Belair catches her to try to get her into the KOD. And Raquel Rodriguez picks up Bianca Belair with both of them and then dropping them. Like, it's so many different spots that can happen here. I think this match is probably going to be the funnest match on the card, which funnest is not really a real word. But at the end of the day, my result is that, and a lot of people may not like this, I feel like we're going to get a double pin with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, because both of them have the best. Liv Morgan at the end has the more prominent storyline out of everyone to go against Rhea Ripley. But the problem is, I think they don't want to have a WrestleMania match without Becky Lynch being involved. And with Becky Lynch being involved, I don't think she needs to win that championship belt. So she needs something in there to cause that to not happen. So, and we need a fresh blood to go into that. Now, I know Liv Morgan already faced Rhea Ripley. She was SmackDown Women's Champion before, but I think this will be a new version of Liv Morgan to kind of give us something fresh. And I think everyone else in this match isn't really ready. Naomi just got back. Tiffany Stratton just got called up. Raquel Rodriguez just got brought back from her injury, and Bianca Belair has had the title so many times. We don't really need another main event match with her being involved in it, at this point in time. So for me, I think that will lead up to a triple threat match between Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Liv Morgan. So I think that's what's going to happen for that match. So the other match we have here is another match, which I think has a pretty predictable ending here, but I think this has a potential to be a really good match. I mean, this card is pretty stacked, and this is the men's elimination chamber match. And I think at the end of the day, you have to give it to Drew McIntyre. If it happens for anyone else, I wouldn't be surprised too much unless it's like Bobby Lashley, which I don't know, how they would spin that to make sense, especially when they had that feud against Karrion Kross and his group. But at the end of the day, I think Drew McIntyre has to win. Like I've said before, this is the best that Drew McIntyre has ever been. The best he's ever been on the mic, in the ring. This makes so much sense. And I know most people will say he deserves it because during the pandemic, he had the championship belt, but he didn't have enough people to watch him. And I think that makes sense, and I think that's true. But I think ultimately he should get rewarded for how he is now, how much better he's been. He's the best that he's ever been. And for everyone else, I think they're just here to kind of start storylines. I think the Kevin Owens and Logan Paul LA Knight story is going to come out of that because, people want LA Knight to face Logan Paul for the US title. And if that isn't the case, then Kevin Owens and Logan Paul still got some unfinished business. Bobby Lashley, he's probably going to get involvement with the Karrion Kross's faction. And Randy Orton is just there, because everybody loves Randy. Who don't want to see Randy in an Elimination Chamber match? But at the end of the day, for me, it definitely has to be Drew McIntyre. And the final match of the night, which looks to be the main event, is the Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Another match that I think that the result is fairly obvious, but I think here, even though a lot of people do not like Nia Jax due to some things she did in the past. Maybe they don't respect her in the ring or things like that. But I think this match should be very interesting, like a hard hitting, brutal match. You got Rhea Ripley, who is super strong. You got Nia Jax, who's the irresistible force. I think if they can, they can. I think they can definitely make a really good match out of this. And Rhea Ripley definitely needs this to have another good match that does not involve one of the four horsewomen. Now, most of you guys may think, well, you think she's going to get a good match out of Nia Jax? Like Nia Jax is not even that great in the ring, but the thing is, you just never know. I think most people can have a pretty good match with somebody who's decent if they book it properly. If they do some good things in the ring, then obviously I think that could be the case right here. And I don't think Nia Jax is going to win it. I don't think the fans are going to be happy about that. And I think WWE knows that. And I, that'll be cheap heel heat, in my personal opinion. I think they're already looking past this into WrestleMania. And that's how I felt going into Elimination Chamber. But at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley, she got to win at home. I'm interested to see how her in ring entrance is going to be, how they're going to make that, look crazy for her since she's going to be at home. But at the end of the day, we got Rhea Ripley winning this match. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section what your predictions are for this pay per view. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it, so you get an update for our live stream on Saturday. Salute, peace.